Hello guys, welcome back. I'm your friend Nawaf and you're watching Shipmate Nawaf Kazi, Shipping Made Easy. Guys, the topic for today is we will be discussing 10 such terms which are oftenly used on board and which are wrongly used, or there is some confusion about that. So let's see what are these. We will begin. Number 1, weather-tight doors and watertight doors. As the name suggests, both of these are doors. What is the difference? The door which is above the water line is a weather-tight door. The door which is located below the water line on a ship is a watertight door. Weather-tight door, normally you will find these doors on the accommodation, on the stores, and these doors avoid the green seas or the shipping seas, the water from the sprays coming inside the space where they serve. These doors you will find them opening in the outward direction, because if there is any pressure they should be able to operate or open by overcoming that pressure of water. And for the watertight doors, guys, these doors are located below the water line. Mostly you will find them on the car carriers, ro-ro ships or passenger ships. You must have seen it in Titanic also. And the watertight doors, basically the primary function of watertight door is to segregate the two compartments on either side of the door and maintain the watertight integrity. So basically when the door is closed, the compartment on this side and the other side of the door becomes watertight. Watertight doors are mostly sliding. They are opening in forward up direction, or they can be opening in upward up and down direction. So that's it, guys. Number 2, topping up and topping off. This is a term used on tankers. Whenever you put inert gas into a oil tanker, into a tank of an oil tanker, we call it as topping up of the tank. We top it up with IG, inert gas, whereas topping off is when you stop the loading into a specific cargo tank to a allege which you have decided before. Let's say, for example, you want to stop at 2 meters allege loading in the cargo tank. You top it off to 2 meters allege. So this is topping off. How to remember? After top off, you knock off. So it is easy to remember. So you top off the tank and then you knock off. So topping off is finishing the cargo tank. Number 3, bollards and bits. Both of them are used for securing something. Okay, let us make it simple. Bollard is a single post. Most likely it is on the jetty to make fast your vessel, to make fast the mooring rope of your vessel. And bollard can also be located on board oil tankers in the manifold area, which we call as cruciform bollard. It is used to secure or take the weight of the flexible cargo hoses. So basically one post is a bollard, and two such posts become a bit. Two bollards together in a conjunction, in a combination placed on board is called a mooring bit. Bit is again used for making fast the fire wire, or making fast a loose rope, or making fast a tug's line. And you will have a safe working load on the bollard as well as on the bit. It is very important to know the safe working load of the bit and convey it to the pilot if you are making fast the tug on that bit, so that the tug will not pull more than the safe working load of your bit. Number 4, hydrocarbon, inert gas and air. This is again a term related to tanker operations. Guys, there is a confusion on board. What is more heavier? Air is heavier, or inert gas is heavier, or hydrocarbon is heavier? Because it is very much required in operations like inerting, purging, right? Gas spraying. So here it is, how to remember. Home is away. Remember, home is away. HIA. H stands for hydrocarbon, I stands for inert gas, A stands for air. So HIA, hydrocarbon is heavier than inert gas is heavier than air. Simple. Or other ways you can say air is lighter than inert gas is lighter than hydrocarbon. I hope you will remember now next time. Number 5, straits, channels and canals. What is the difference? Two big water bodies connected together with a small water body, small in the sense congested water body, then this congested water body becomes a strait. It is a natural water body, but it is congested. That is why it is called as a strait. For example, Singapore Strait, Strait of Hormuz, Gibraltar Strait. Now, what is a channel? If you take this strait and if you expand it more, it becomes a channel. It is same, the purpose is same. It is a natural water body, but it is not as compact as a strait. It is having more navigable water, and it is wide, slightly wide. So this is called as a channel. English Channel, Mozambique Channel, for example. Third is canal. Canal is not a natural water body. It is a man-made water body for ease of transport or ease of trade, or a shortcut to an alternative longer route from the oceans. So this is man-made, and this is a canal. Suez Canal, Panama Canal, Kiel Canal. You know this, right? Number 6, swinging circle and turning circle. Swinging circle is related to the anchor of the vessel. Turning circle is a characteristic, maneuvering characteristic of the vessel. Swinging circle is basis how many shackles you have paid out on your anchor. Each shackle is of 27.5 meters. So if you have 5 shackles in water, you multiply 5 into 27.5, and plus you add the length of the bridge or length of your vessel from the anchor position unto your monitoring position. So this total gives you the radius of this circle, and when you mark a circle with this radius, it becomes a swinging circle. Whereas turning circle is a predefined. It is usually made in the yard. Circle is the maneuvering characteristic of the vessel. It is predefined, and it depends upon various factors, like whether your ship is in ballast or whether your ship is loaded. And you will see a maneuvering characteristics on your bridge, and you know that is the turning circle of the vessel, which you need to know what will be your advance, what will be your transfer. We will not go into detail about that. Number 7, inerting and purging. Again, it is a tanker related term, guys. Excuse me, because I am a tanker man, so I have more of these terms with me. So inerting and purging, both terms are using inert gas. Firstly, the difference in inerting, the IG pushes out the oxygen. In purging, the IG pushes out the hydrocarbon. Simple. Both of them use inert gas. We put inert gas into the tank and we take out oxygen, that is called inerting. We put inert gas into the tank and we take out hydrocarbon, that is purging. I hope it is clear. Number 8. Guys, everyone knows that on board we have smoke floats, we have rocket parachute, and we have hand flares. We have 2, 4, 6, but a lot of time it is confusing. What is 2, what is 4, and what is 6? This is the requirement, SOLAS requirement to have on board. On bridge also we have, in the lifeboats also we have. So guys, I will not go into details. What is a hand flare, what is a parachute flare, and what is a smoke float. I'm sure you must be aware about it. I will just tell you a small technique how to remember how many numbers on board. Smoke float. We smoke with 2 fingers. We smoke with 2 fingers, right? So 2 smoke floats on board. Bridge, 2 smoke floats. So we have 2 smoke floats. Bridge, 2 smoke floats. Lifeboats also we have 2 each smoke floats. Rocket parachute. As you must have seen, a rocket has 4 tails or 4 fins, we can call it, at the bottom part. So this 4, you can remember, we have 4 rocket parachutes always. And hand flare is number 6. 6 hand flares we should have. So how will you remember? Hand has 5 fingers, and 6th is your flare. So this becomes 6. So guys, I hope next time you will not forget what is 2, what is 4, and what is 6. You will always remember. Number 9, gangway and accommodation ladder. This is the most confused term on board. Guys, gangway is placed, the purpose for both of this is same, you know, for transport of persons from shore to the ship or ship to the shore. The purpose is same. But what is the difference between gangway and accommodation ladder? Guys, both of these are ladders. The ladder which is placed in the port to starboard direction or the horizontal direction on ship is a gangway, and the ladder which is in the forward and aft direction on the ship, which you see on both the side of your vessel, is an accommodation ladder. Okay guys, so for gangway, some people also call it a portable gangway. Okay, portable gangway, a ship of more than 30 meters in length should have a portable gangway. A ship more than 120 meters of length must have the accommodation ladder. Okay, it is clear. So don't confuse next time. Gangway, athwart ship, accommodation ladder, forward and aft. Okay. 10. Gross tonnage and net tonnage. Some people call it GRT and NRT, but that is wrong. This term is obsolete, and since 1994 GRT is out and we have GT and NT. What is the difference between this? Gross tonnage is the volume of all the enclosed spaces on ship. Cargo spaces, engine room, stores, all the spaces, that is gross tonnage. Whereas net tonnage is only the cargo spaces on board, the volume of the cargo spaces on the ship. Gross tonnage is normally used to identify which convention is applicable to a vessel, whereas net tonnage is used to fix the port dues or fees of a vessel. This net tonnage is mostly used for the port dues and fees for the port, because that is basis on your cargo carrying capacity. Gross tonnage and net tonnage is clear. You might also hear Suez Canal tonnage, Panama Canal tonnage. Don't confuse with GT and NT. These tonnages have a separate complex calculation method, which is derived by Suez and Panama. So guys, that's it. I think I have covered all the 10 points and 10 most confused or easy to forget things on board. So I hope next time when you use these terms on board, you use the correct ones. I have not covered all. I know that there are many more left. So guys, whatever came to my mind, I have listed the 10 most common. But if you have any more, please write down in the comments. And yes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for such amazing updates and videos. Stay tuned to my channel. See you next time soon. This is Shipmate Nawaf Kazi signing off. Bye bye.